Earlier at the opening of the news, I told you about Blessing Oborodudu and, of course, Favor Ofili missing out on podium finishes. But despite Ofili and Oborodudu not being there, we'll still have some blessings and favors ahead. But let's start by letting you know how we actually got here, because it all started in 1952, and it's interesting to know that despite Nigeria not reaching its peak at the Games, despite a debut at the 1952 Helsinki Games, although it took Nigeria 12 years for a first shade of medal, which was a bronze, won by Nigerian Mayego at 1964 Tokyo Games. Our subsequent performances have been underlined by inadequate preparations, claims of unpaid allowances by athletes, internal campaign rows, and allegations of maltreatment by the athletes. However, over the years, we have won 27 medals. Yes, just a breakdown of what we've had so far since our debut at the Games in 1952. And of course, before we get to the breakdown of the sport and of course of the chances that we have, it's also proper to know that Nigeria went into the 2024 edition of the Games competing in 12 different sports. If we can have that on the screen. Oh, perfect. But this is just another breakdown of where we started from the 1952 Helsinki Games. Now, let's take a look at the 12 sports that Nigeria is participating in at the moment, starting with athletics, basketball, badminton, all the way to wrestling, and of course weightlifting. But as it is at the moment, Nigeria is still yet to have any shade of medal. Yes, the breakdown of 88 athletes that we're having at this year's event, and so far dominated by 63 female athletes, and of course 25 of the male athletes. Well, 2 of them couldn't make the podium today, talking about Blessing Oborodudu and of course Favor Ofili. But there will still be enough to look out for. That will be tomorrow in the Games, where we expect to see more of our expectations in terms of sports that we're expecting to still have a medal, and some that were already been ruled out of competition. Yes, sports that were very strong in athletics, we still have hopes of winning a medal there, talking about the women's 100 meters hurdles, and of course in the long jump, where Ruth Usoro, Ruth Usoro, yes, and of course Ese Brume are already through to the final of the women's long jump. Badminton, we're no more. Fair chance in basketball, because Nigeria will be taking on defending champions, the U.S. women's national basketball team. Of course, already been ruled out of boxing. Canoeing, we're through to the C2 500 meters women's event. And of course, in cycling, fair chance for Ese Ukpeseraye there. In football, no more. That's talking about Super Falcons couldn't pull through the group stage. In swimming, Nigeria is also out. In table tennis, out of the singles event, but in the doubles and mixed doubles, there could still be a slight chance Nigeria could make a podium finish. Taekwondo will be represented by a particular lady called Elizabeth Ayanacho, who unfortunately could not make the podium in 2020. And in weightlifting, very strong. And of course, we'll be waiting for what we expect to see when the wrestling event continues, talking about Odunayo Adekore and the rest of the athletes that will be representing Team Nigeria. Remember, Nigeria also made the power ranking in basketball. But let's keep our fingers crossed. There's still reasons to be optimistic.